Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. So this video is a get ready with me video, and it is also a continuation of the video that I did on pornography, child sexual exploitation and the rest. So in today's video I'll just be getting ready as I'm going to a Christian convention. Not apparently like sexual immoralities or sexual immoralities, rather some people encourage it. Auntie used to tell her to go and do this. She never used to get out. She always says that she was reading. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. So this video is a get ready with me video, and it is also a continuation of the video that I did on pornography, child sexual exploitation and the rest. So in today's video I'll just be getting ready as I'm going to a Christian convention and just putting on my makeup to get ready to get out. So after doing that first video of mine, I kind of watched other suggested video, and that was from a person called a YouTuber called Crowned in Faith, and she spoke everything I wanted to speak in this second part of the video. So I would really advise you go to her and watch her video on porn, masturbation and the rest. So but I'll just be giving you a little bit of insight on my own experience and then other people's stories. And other stories, really. It's not just other people's stories. Some of the stories do apply to me at times, but it doesn't always. Okay, so yeah, I'll be looking down a lot to do this video, as I'll be picking up my makeup products and stuff I want to use to do the video. Well, to do my face. Okay, so let's begin with a primer. This is by Prime Magic face primers. Camera ready one. So pornography, my first time watching pornography, that would be when I was young. Well, it's a little bit young, but when I think I was about 13-14 years old when I first watched pornography, to say proper pornography. I was definitely under 14 years old when I first watched it, and I'll tell you how it happened. So okay, sorry, I'll be looking at my mirror to do my eyes. So how did it happen? It was during the holiday period. Me and my cousins were all at home, and my uncle and the wife went to work. So we were watching normal TV, really. You know, in Nigeria at the time there wasn't a lot of channels, and you had to buy a DSTV, like the satellite TV. We didn't buy that one. We just used normal TV. You know, the ones that you have to beat to wake up, or it goes like every single time. That was a video, that was a TV at the time. The radio stations played whatever they wished to, but in all honesty it was all innocent stuff. We used to watch a lot of Friends, and my cousin liked Friends. I didn't really enjoy the jokes that much at the time, but she liked them, so we watched a lot of Friends sort of videos. And one of the days, I can't remember exactly what we were watching, and then it went off. So when the NEPA took light actually, and then when they brought it back, we were trying to find back the channel, and when we were trying to find the channel, we just flicked through different channels. It just wasn't coming through, and then we landed on this particular channel which was full of pornography. I am not joking. That day they were just doing like pure porn, like if you've ever watched one before anyways, but it was pure pornography, all the certain things that they were doing. I mean, let me tell you, we were so young. As I mentioned, I was the second oldest, and the oldest was just 1 or 2 years older than me at the time, and my cousins were all the way to, let's say, 5 years old or 6 years old. That's how all of us were gathered. And then when we were watching it, we were like, that was the first reaction. And then it was like, whoo. You know, the first reaction is like, what? And then the next reaction was so we were, I think, give and take, I'll say we watched it a couple of minutes before one of my cousins, he got up and turned off the TV immediately, and we were so mad. Me and my immediate junior cousin, we were so angry at him. I'm like, why did you turn it off? Do you know, like, we had like authority to watch whatever we watched. We were trying to tell him that we were older than him, so we should he shouldn't have done that. He should have taken permission from us. Why did he turn it off? Listen, it got really heated up. I'm not joking. We got into a big argument, and he was arguing back with us that we should not watch these things. It's not godly. It's not like, well, he didn't use the word godly, but he said we shouldn't watch it. And then we're like, who gave you the authority? You know, we are older than you, should be respectful of us. Yeah. And then he's like, well, daddy put me in charge. That whenever he leaves, you know, like boys, whenever they leave, when they think they're the firstborn, whenever they leave, they feel like they're the father of the house. Anyways, that was the argument. We kind of argued about it for some time, and then finally we took the remote. I think he turned off the TV, then we took the remote back from him and turned it back on. We couldn't find that channel anymore. I think we were kind of disappointed, as young as we oh Jesus. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Just remembering that scene, it was like, you don't understand how much we argued with this boy. And then that actually made me think, like, why was he the one out of all of us who was able to realize that what we were watching was not right, it was not godly? And I just thought to myself that it can only be the Holy Spirit working through him that actually made him realize that this is not good, we should not watch it. And he didn't honor it. He was angry. I mean, let's just say that video was so erotic that I didn't realize that people drank each other's urine when having sex. that was how erotic he got, how grossology he got. Well, listen, it was everything from foreplay to anything that you can talk about in regards to sexual intimacy. So that was kind of my first time watching pornography. And I know, like, in Nigeria at least, when growing up, when it comes to scenes like that, the adults always kicks you away, or they ask you to cover your eyes, something like that. And I think that's actually a good practice, because it really prevents the young person from having to internalize what they see, because everything we watch, believe it or not, is internalized in our own brains, and it may not come to us quickly. It may come later on when we thought, like, out of the blue, something comes into our mind. We're like, whoo, where did that come from? If you don't pay attention, you will not realize it's from what you watched before, or thought about, or seen before in your life. So this, my particular cousin of mine that went ahead to turn off the TV, it just made me thought about these things made me thought about him, and also in regards to priesthood, because he is now training as a priest, and he was one of those young people that always knew what they wanted to do. I remember when he was young, he told his mom he wanted to be a priest, and his mother said no, because at that time he was the only boy. He's like, who is going to bring my grandchildren? He was the only boy in the family at the time, and according to my mom, like, he prayed about it, and by God's grace, God gave his mother another male child, so he wasn't stopped from going into priesthood. And he was always the one that always knew what he wanted, his calling was, and had visions, and people tell him that he's going to be a priest. And I thought to myself, you know what, it could only be the Holy Spirit working in him for him to reject such sexual immoralities when we, the ordinary citizens of the church, did not get that particular form of Holy Spirit. And I think that sometimes what I'll be this is what I'll be continuing to talk about after this part of this video, which is in regards to the Holy Spirit working in us and helping us overcome temptations such as sexual temptations or immoralities, to say. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Let me get my eyebrow done. Listen, I don't like doing this get ready with me videos because I never get to do my makeup properly whenever I do them. Okay, so after that, well, that's kind of my first pornography, and it doesn't mean I haven't watched it before after that, because what happened with watching things like that is that those images stick to your mind and entice some sort of feelings in you. As I mentioned, there is this particular YouTuber called Crowned in Faith that spoke about how sexual movies do affect us and affect children, your children. If you want to know more, I would suggest you go to her channel to watch it. It's called Porn, Masturbation, and the Rest. Well, it didn't say the rest, but it mentioned other things. So I would really suggest that you go and watch it and get a view, because she really she opened up everything. Like, I'm not joking. She and her friend, they didn't hide anything about it, and also how it starts. So let's talk about sexual exploitation. So I don't know if this is really sexual exploitation to say, but I do remember a friend of mine, give and take, we were actually, it is sexual exploitation because it was, well, it's done in an indirect way, like maybe without the person that was exploiting knowing. It was a friend of mine when I was still in primary school, and I remember she told me one day when she went to fetch water with one of our like people from the village, a person from the village and stuff like that, and the person redirected her direction and went out with this boyfriend of hers. I was not even a boyfriend, it's just one of those people that they meet and have sex with, to say. Do you know, I'm really lost in doing makeup and talking. Next time I would definitely try and do my makeup first before speaking about this issue. So what I was trying to say is that she escorted the person to a man's house, and according to her, they were literally having sex in front of her, and she told me everything that happened and what they were doing and stuff like that. Bear in mind, she's under 10 years old, not 10. Yeah, under 10 or 10 years old, because I was still in primary school at that time. If not, I think the most would be 11 years old. It would not be more than that, because me and her are the same age. So it was, I mean, what happened then afterwards, what I realized is, after she finished telling me that story, her attitude to certain things changed. This is the reason why I asked the questions I asked in my first video, like, have you noticed changes in your child's behavior? Because this is what these things do. Her attitude changed, and then she started following boys a lot more. and doing some certain things, staying out late. And I remember she used to argue with her parent often, and her parent telling her she's going to get pregnant with that while she was still young. And funny enough, her response was like, yeah, if I get pregnant, I'll give birth to it. But you know, when you're young, you don't really think that these things are the things that really do affect you. But then when I thought back at it, I'm like, the change in her behavior can only be attributed to this sort of thing, because she wasn't really like that, because we've been friends for such a long time. But then the change in attitude came after her telling me this story and other things that she's seen with adults who did not think of the child when they were doing what they were doing. How would you bring a child into your sexual life, especially when in front? It just makes no sense when you're having sex. That is, to me, that's why I can call it sexual exploitation, because you are sexually exploiting the child, even though maybe you're not doing it to the person. You're literally exploiting that child through the visions that you make them see and the things that you made them observe and watch. Yeah, so that was what happened. And then I also like talk about some sort of behaviors that happens. Another story that I like to share is you need to be careful of people you live with, your children as well, because okay, I will not go into that story because it's kind of too personal and I don't want anyone to get hurt. At least anyone in my personal life to get hurt. I'll skip the story I wanted to tell and tell another story. So I remember when I was preparing for my not Holy Communion, we were doing Corpus Christi, and Corpus Christi is you can find it what Corpus Christi is. It's like Christ the King. You can discover more about it. Type it. Google is your best friend. Do so and find out. So what happened was, we were preparing for this and we had to travel to a different, like, you know when they say cathedral, so we had to travel to the local, it's not even a cathedral, but it's like the main parish, because we had a parish in our own area, but it wasn't called a parish, I don't know, it just wasn't the main place to go for that sort of thing. So when we were visiting this place and going, we will finish our program, and then I know this particular girl, she was about my sister's age group, and I mean at that time, give and take, she was about 13 years old or 14 years old the most. And she often when we finished, she often used to branch off and go somewhere else. One of the days, my sister did not come with me, so I was, because we lived in the same village or kindred to say, so I had to travel with her and someone else who was also younger than I was. Not younger than, maybe just a little bit senior to me. So we went to this person's, like, we went with this particular person that I told you that she branches off to do her things. And that's when I discovered where she branches off to. So she often used to branch off to this, to like boys' house or men's house. I think they're not even boys, because they, in my own eyes, looked about 18 years plus old. Or yeah, they were definitely older than her. Yeah, they were adults at that time. They were definitely adults. So, and she used to have sex with these people. And then when I discovered that, it was when she took us to one of her boyfriends, and she sat us down, me and this other girl, and told us to wait in the living room, and she and this man went inside, and me and this other girl were giving like biscuits and sweets to eat and to keep us busy, you know. And I remember like they were playing loud music just to, I didn't understand why it was so loud, you know. I will, you know that, I don't even know how to say the name. You know the first song that Awilo released that just blew everywhere? I mean, maybe not his first song, but that one that really took off in the whole Africa. I've forgotten how it goes, but that was a song that was playing and it was so loud, and you know it's very, very erotic in its dance steps and stuff like that. So we were made to watch that whilst she was in the room. And then I remember like hearing some certain noise. At that time, you know, when you're young, you don't really know the differences between sex sounds and all those things that people make. And we were just wondering why she was taking such a long time, because she said she was going to be back very soon. But she didn't come back very soon because she stayed there more than half an hour. And it was getting late because we finished late for our practice, and it was getting late. And we waited and waited, but she didn't show up. So we got frustrated, and then I went out to knock and asked, like, are you coming out? Our parents will be mad. We are waiting for you to come out. I just heard noises, but no response. And then later on, when she came out, that was the first time I actually realized that people can have red eyes. Her eyes was red and her body was like full of sweat. And the funny thing though is like when later on we left the place and we asked her like, what were you doing? And then the other girl told me what she was doing with the boy. And what can you do? What has happened has happened. There is nothing I could do. See, I can't even do my makeup whilst talking. So that was what happened. And since then, I realized like whenever we went out, there was always boys calling her, and then either she got on someone's bike and then we go out. The funny thing though, I wouldn't lie to you, I kind of was envious of her because she had a lot of male attentions to her. And I wondered why, and none of them liked me. But then again, I didn't think of it that way because I was still young. I was still in primary school, people. This is how sad it was. So anyways, yeah, so this is some of things that you need to, I think for parents, you need to look into, obviously, for your child. Maybe you yourself did it, you know what it should be, like what's it called, what you should look out for. That's if you don't support such behaviors, because every parent is different. I realize that not all parents see like sexual immoralities as sexual immoralities, rather some people encourage it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and then focus on doing my makeup because this is just getting ridiculous. All right, what am I looking for? What I just put is my eyes is from Pearl, and this Iceland Escape collection cream eyeshadows, and I'm using this sand bar. Well, it's got different things to it, so that's the one I'm using. So yeah, that was my stories. I don't think I will be able to finish this, you know. Oh, I think I'll turn off this video because and do my makeup on its own. Okay, I'm so sorry. I look like a mess. You can see. I'll show you the finished look later. Take care. Do you know what? I have not even progressed. So this is my eye look. Listen, I know it looks like a mess. My eye look is often like experimental. So I used the products I showed before, and then L'Oreal nude palette. Looks something like that. And one from Victoria Jackson. Yeah, that's a palette. I don't even know what I did to my eyes, but trust me, it will come together. Now I'm going to do my foundation. as this one is the ones I often can do with no problem. So my foundation, I don't know where it went to now. Yes, I do. I'm using Bare Minerals Bare Minerals Pro Liquid Foundation to foundation myself in it. My face. It's like cement my face. You know, cement is a good foundation before you start putting other things. So this is like cementing. Okay. So in continuation to what I was talking about, I think my whole aim for these videos, both anything to do with the pornography and child exploitation, is one for parents to be more careful on the things that they expose their children to. Because I even remember my cousin whilst we were young, she used to use this, read these books like Meals and Bones and all these erotic romantic video novels. And I remember, like, whenever my auntie used to tell her to go and do this, she never used to get out. She always says that she was reading and use that excuse as getting out of work and chores. Honestly, I always wondered why, and then one day I asked her to give me one of her novels, because this novels was actually brought to her most of the time by her friends from USA. Yeah, so I asked her to give me one of her novels to read, and babe, whoa, that one, I mean, is like erotica sort of novels this woman used to read. Man, I was like, I couldn't even get out of bed just sitting down reading. Like, I was reading, I mean, she used to read 3 books at once, like in 3 days, if not like 2 days, no matter the volume. So I was captivated like her. And yeah, I obviously continued reading those books until when I discovered these things are not actually good. Well, later on in the years, because I read it throughout secondary school. Meals and Bones, listen, I thought I was good at reading until I started doing university. I realized there are different types of, I love reading. Because I used to say I love reading. I realized there's different type of books. Is it fiction or non-fiction that you're reading, that you really think you love reading books? Because non-fictions like school books and stuff like that can be quite difficult to get into. Alright, so that was my story of doing pornography and the rest, you know. Okay, so I mean, all of us have watched sexual movies anyway, so let no one come here and be pointing fingers. I mean, you can. You're allowed actually on my channel. My channel is the only channel you can allow to judge. In all honesty, like, I encourage it. It shows me that you're critically thinking. Just make sure that when you're judging, you're looking at yourself as well. That's all I say. Just make sure you're looking at yourself, and if you're going to comment constructively. Just don't comment. There's some comments I just don't get it. When people just comment on something that doesn't even relate to the video they watched, I don't understand the reason behind that. Please let your comments be relative. It shows you're thinking. It actually shows you're smart. Okay, so I think I'll have to go off again to finish this foundation process. What I put on my face there was MAC Studio Fix NC45. So that is just my way of highlighting right now. Okay, I'm blending it out, blending sponge from Real Technique. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know. See how this is what I hate about my makeup, because I smudge it all together, it often comes out purple. I don't even know why. Anyways, I'll go off again and then finish off the rest of my face. Take care.